PowerPoint presentation up here, or slide, I should say. All right. By the shores of Silver Lake, right? The story that we had already read yesterday.
Yeah.
We've been going over our new
Vocabulary
words, very good, which the 6 new words were, or are what? Austin Huggins, what are our 6 new words?
Conductor, depot, jolting, lurching, platform, and statue.
Very good. And what 2 strategies did we focus on yesterday? What were the 2 strategies that we focused on while we were reading through the story, Austin Hall? Think about that graphic organizer that we worked with. What did we really focus on? Details, noting details, right? We noticed that, are we really focused on all the different details throughout the story? Keep on the page, please. 108, 109, don't be looking ahead. Stay on task. What was the other one that we focused on, Brianna? Questions. And what does questions do? When you're asking questions while you're reading the story, what does it do? Helps you maybe understand what? You got it. It's right there. Understand the story that you're reading. So the questions that you read help you. Page 108, 109. Right here. Got to stay on task. Don't need to be on any other page. Asking those questions help you better understand the story, correct? And noting the detail just makes you also pay closer attention to certain things that go on, right? Let's take a look up here.
Please excuse the interruption. Any 8th grade student who has not gotten their picture taken, please go to the small gym at this time. Any 8th grade student needing their picture taken. Thank you.
Okay. Hopefully we can get, oh, what's going on here? If you're having problems. Okay. There we go. Hopefully we can get through this before we get called for pictures. But, awards, which we didn't kind of discuss, it wasn't in the book, but By the Shores of Silver Lake had won a Newbery Honor, an ALA notable, Read Across America Teachers Picks, and I know it's all over the table. Pacific Northwest Young Readers' Choice Award, just some of the awards this story has had. Yes, Abby? What's that? Yep, yes it was, very good. Selection summary, let's go over this real quick. Even though we've already read the story, but Taylor, since you haven't gotten to it yet, since you're absent, pay close attention to this, okay? Flora Ma and her sisters are taking their first train trip. They are traveling west to meet Pop. Who can tell me what town they stopped in? Or that they were going to? Savannah? Do you remember the town name? No. You weren't here. Chloe G?
Tracy.
Tracy, very good. They are traveling west to meet Pa in the town of Tracy. Laura and Carrie, a younger sister, are quite frightened by the huge, fast, noisy train. Once they get on board, they find it an exciting adventure. Our key concept for the story was the first train ride, which all of our new vocabulary words that we started discussing deal with a train ride. Very good. Key vocabulary. We already talked about conductor, depot, jolting and lurching. Told you we'd keep working with these 2. Depot we haven't really discussed yet, but we will get to that. Platform, we did talk about that. And satchels, right? Conductor. What is a conductor? What's the definition that we have up there, Chloe G?
Conductor, a person in charge of a train or subway.
A person in charge of a train or subway. Notice now I got my definition. I got my definition. Now I have a sentence which says the conductor punched holes in our tickets to show we had boarded the train. And the next thing I got here is a picture. What does that kind of remind you of? The definition, picture, sentence. What does that remind you of? Something that we might have already done. Danielle? What have we done that kind of had to do a definition, a picture, and your own sentence? What was it called? Not reading thingy. What was that called? What was that called? We all did this. We all did this. Not square. Vocabulary. Foldable that you used in science. Remember you had you cut them? Well, if you got that far, cut them, and you could flip them to study your vocabulary words. Doesn't this kind of remind you of that?
Yeah.
Pay close attention to that because you might have to do something like that again.
Yay!
All right. Next word, what do we have up here? Brianna. Depot. And what is the definition for depot? A train or a bus station. What's brand new to hear Kiwani? No train. Depot. Very good. And our sentence we have is we arrived at the depot just in time to board our train. There we go. You can see the train. You can see the train coming, but you can see the train. The depot. I heard some people say it. We can see the train right here. Wow, there it comes. Train depot right there, right? It should disappear. Disappears for us. But yes, that building there was the train depot. Thank you. Very good. And then it jumped a little ahead here. That's okay. 17, Crystal. What's this word here? Jolting. Very good. Can you read the definition for us? Moving in a jerky, bumpy way. So the train was jolting along the tracks during our trip. So, like we said, if the train's moving, if it might start, you might feel that sudden jerk. So you get jolted right away all of a sudden when that train starts moving. Get a picture here, maybe, if I shoot. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. We're going to worry about it. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know about that picture. Memphis. What's our next vocabulary term? Lurching. And I said we would do what with jolting and lurching? We would really focus on these two words. That way you guys would be able to know exactly the difference between them, correct? Memphis, go ahead and read the definition for us. Moving unsteadily from side to side. So if I'm walking down the aisle here, down the train as it's moving and it's kind of unsteady, I would be lurching. It'd be lurching. Very good. Let's get our sentence. I wish that thing worked. A little remote control. We were lurching in our seats as the train moved away from the depot. Oh, am I getting that mixed up? If I said jolting when the train starts, like that sudden jerk would be a jolt, right? And then lurching is when it's moving. I don't really like those sentences.
Side to side.
Side to side. Very good, David. Exactly. Side to side. Yes. All right. I don't even know. Maybe they weren't. There we go. You can see when they were walking down the aisle. It was Laura and Mary. It was lurching, moving unsteadily from side to side. Yeah, I had it right. Oh, confusing myself there. Platform. We talked about this one already. Talk about it again, Dallas. What does platform say here? What's our definition?
Platform.
Dallas, up here. A raised floor or surface. So like we said, this whole first row was the tracks, right?
Yeah.
Whole first row is the tracks. And from the wall to the fifth square, it was up a little ways. It would be the platform, so I could easily step on and get onto the train, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's read our sentence here. We walked onto the platform to wait for the train to arrive. It's also from your book. Very good. That picture is there waiting there on the platform. And you can see something else right there. Something that I think we're going to work on next. Satchels. Very good. And Joseph, what is our definition for that?
Small bags used for carrying books and other small items.
Small bags used for carrying books and other small items is known as a satchel. Very good. It says, Mom set her satchels down on the platform when she paid for the tickets. And look at our picture here. We've got her satchel. Very good. All right, so it says, now let's check out some of the reading skills we'll be practicing as we read by shores of Silver Lake. And we already really discussed those yesterday, so this is kind of a review. And you already told me what the two of them were. The first one was details, and the other one we focused on was questions. Very good. So your strategy focus, which we did go over this, was Laura and her family are going on their first train ride or train trip. As you read, think of questions about what they see and think during their train ride. Questions, so examples. You may think of questions to ask one of your classmates, someone else in the room. You may need to have some questions answered about the story to help you understand it. And like Brianna said, questions help you understand the story. Very good. Awesome. Whoops. Uh-oh. No, well, we'll just do that. Comprehension skill focus was you will be noting details, which we really worked on noting those details yesterday, right?
Yeah.
As you read the story, you could complete a detail map that lists details from the story, which we did that. We had you guys do that on your own yesterday, creating a detail map. Oh boy.
That's tricky.
Okay, graphic organizer detail map. We did this, right? Did this up there? Alright, it just says enjoy selection, which you guys have already read. Lori was wilder. Doris Settlinger. Good to go on that. Understand these vocabulary words? Yes.
It doesn't say, because when you, at the beginning, it says illustrated, it's supposed to be illustrated by Doris, but it's not illustrated in our book by me.
Well, they're probably talking about the actual, this is just like a small excerpt. There is an actual book by the shores of Silver Lake. That's probably what they were talking about in there. But thank you for pointing that out. All right. That is done. And now, I need to do, well, I need to, well, before I do that, who's my helper today? Crystal? Can you start handing these out?